Hello, everybody. David Schuster here. President Trump's press secretary, Karoline Leavitt, is now getting fact-checked by Fox News over President Trump's cave-in the trade war. On the White House driveway, Leavitt spoke about Trump's 90-day pause on most tariffs and accused journalists of being ignorant and naive.
Many of you in the media clearly missed the art of the deal. You clearly failed to see what President Trump is doing here.
But what Trump is doing, according to Fox News, is backing down and folding. Here's Fox Business correspondent Charles Gasparino.
I want to tell you right now that Donald Trump outsmarted the world. Trust me, I'm an American, I support my president, but that's not really what happened here from what I understand. What happened in the bond market overnight, the spike in yields on the 30-year and the 10-year bond, which showed that people were dumping our bonds. And who are those people dumping our bonds? Japan, the biggest holder of bonds, was selling bonds. That's what I'm getting from some very big money managers. China, maybe to some extent, but it was largely Japan and others. If you have a mass sale of bonds, that means people are losing confidence in the U.S. economy, on the ability to do deals with us. And from what I understand, this is what forced the hand of this 90-day reprieve.
Back to Leavitt, she claimed that Trump handled the trade war masterfully. And as proof, she pointed to dozens of countries that have called the Trump White House looking to make a deal.
The entire world is calling the United States of America, not China, because they need our markets, they need our consumers, and they need this president in the Oval Office to talk to them.
But as Gasparino pointed out, talk is all that has happened so far.
We have no deals. Right? There's nobody that is really there saying this is what we're going to do. And they paused it anyway. We
finally have a president here at the White House who is playing the long game, who is doing what is right for the American worker and our industries here at home. And he has put together a fantastic team in Secretary Bessent, Secretary Lustnick, the entire trade team who will be focusing on negotiating these good deals to put the American workers first.
But make no mistake about it, you cannot divorce this decision right here from what happened last night, which was, people focus on the stock market all the time. It's the bond market and the sort of lending markets that's the plumbing of the economy. And those markets were imploding last night. And that's why we have a 90-day freeze. Let's see if those markets improve. Someone told me we had a decent treasury auction today. But if you can't sell your treasuries, guys, and people are unloading your treasuries, like Japan, which is, I believe, the largest foreign holder after China.
Just to be clear, there was an auction that just happened a few moments ago that Bessent just referenced, and it was a healthy auction, Charlie.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Right? So we got a good, healthy auction on some of this stuff. But be real clear, there were problems in the plumbings of the market. And from what I understand, and I'm talking to sophisticated, I'm not talking to some guy at trading off his Robinhood account. I'm talking to major hedge fund players who deal with the White House, who deal with Bessent. And Bessent knows this. He told the president this. Yeah. We have a real problem with plumbing. And if we have a problem with plumbing, it's game over.
Karoline Leavitt has been undercut and humiliated by Fox News before. Earlier this year, Fox anchor Jackie Heinrich pushed Leavitt on Donald Trump's assertion that U.S. automakers love his tariffs.
The American Automotive Policy Council has put out a statement sort of pushing back on this narrative.
Watch how much Leavitt starts blinking, a sign of anxiety.
They said revoking the exemption for Canada and Mexico and extending tariffs to auto parts with steel and aluminum will add significant costs for automakers, suppliers, and consumers. Steel and aluminum tariffs obviously could have big impacts. Is it time for the president to do an Oval Office address maybe and try to explain to people that it might be bad for a little while, but it is in fact worth it?
I think the president has been incredibly clear, Jackie, on where he stands and what he envisions for the future of America.
Are you expecting a recession this year?
I hate to predict things like that.
He wants to restore this great country as the manufacturing superpower of the world.
Trump wants to restore America as the manufacturing superpower of the world. But the fact is, during the Biden administration, U.S. manufacturing reached an all-time high, a peak. Since Donald Trump took office, manufacturing has dropped. And now, thanks to Trump's trade war chaos, it will drop even further. You see, one of the strategies the Trump White House was banking on was that because of tariffs, companies overseas would suddenly move their factories and production to the United States, where it would be cheaper and easier to sell to the U.S. market. But such a move is costly, and few companies are going to actually risk those costs if they think that tariffs might be paused or scrapped. And now, Donald Trump has proven that point. By pausing the tariffs and downsizing them for many countries, there's no longer a reason for overseas businesses to invest in a U.S. move. They don't need to spend that money since tariffs will not be permanent or as severe as Donald Trump first announced. In other words, President Trump has torpedoed his own strategy, as warped as it was in the first place. Around the globe, the biggest economic complaint about Donald Trump is that he's so reckless and unstable that the United States government and all trade deals under Trump's leadership cannot be trusted. Trump's word cannot be trusted. And now, Donald Trump has established once again that his critics are correct. And all Karoline Leavitt can do is try to lie and spin. But even conservative media on Fox News is fact-checking Leavitt and calling her out. By the way, Karoline Leavitt is now getting blasted for tanking stock markets the other day merely by talking about them. Keep an eye on the Fox News stock ticker.
Countries are falling over themselves to reform their unfair trade practices and free open their markets to our country. Why? Because these countries greatly respect President Trump in the sheer power of the American market. These countries realize they've gotten filthy rich over the past few decades by imposing substantial tariffs on American-made products and ridiculous non-monetary barriers to block out American industry. The jig is up. Past American presidents sat by and let this happen, but President Trump stood up for our country, and he is saying no more.
The whole country is reeling right now from the economic disaster Trump has plunged us into. He destroyed more than $10 trillion in American wealth in a single week, and then he went golfing and bragged to America about winning the tournament at his own golf course.
The golf tournament.
Very good, because I won. It's good to win. You heard I won, right? Did you hear I won? Yeah. Just to back it up, you were there, I won.
That's like bragging about being endorsed by your own campaign manager. So much winning. The country can hardly stand how much winning Trump is doing for himself and Elon Musk and his billionaire cabinet. Perhaps he could have yelled "for" on the Greenway so tens of millions of Americans could have taken our retirement savings out of the stock market before he hit us in the head with a golf ball.
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from Yvette, who wrote, "Levitt is an insult to one's intelligence." I hear you. I look forward to reading your comments about the White House press secretary getting fact-checked by Fox News. I'm David Schuster. Thanks for joining us.